Hello, world. I am broadcasting to two Facebook pages, my YouTube, and I think Twitch. Good morning. It is 11/16/2020, Monday at 9:27 a.m. It is Mental Health Monday. I'm here with my coffee cup that has been deemed a racist company because why wouldn't racists be in anywhere? Anyway, I am here to tell you that this Monday is going to be beautiful. I have not caught up on the news yet. I started catching up on the news, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So, during the election, at the end of the election, if you didn't hear this, I don't know where you've been hiding. Governor Whitmer was almost kidnapped, or they said she was. They arrested some people because they were online saying that they wanted to kidnap her and kill her. Just normal government things. And so I'm browsing the Facebook and the NPR and all the news and stuff, and this headline pops up. It says Whitmer responds to Atlas, "I won't be bullied into following reputable scientists." I won't be bullied into following reputable scientists. Let's read this together, shall we? Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer fired back at Scott Atlas, one of President Trump's coronavirus task force advisors, on Sunday after Atlas criticized a set of restrictions on public life in Michigan meant to slow the spread of COVID-19. I'm going to stop there because we've never had a lockdown here and we're in a spike, and I've never been a fan of mandated masks, and I've never been a fan of a forced government shutdown because you're not doing anything to educate the population in what's going on right now. So if you say, what happens when the people who are supposed to be leading us aren't getting along? What happens when the people that other people are looking for to guidance, because that's how the system's been set up for the last 75 years, decide that they don't want to be educated or look at what's going on. They just want to ground you and tell you to get fucked because hey, Matt. This is Matt. We're friends. Not my husband, Matt. But that's just it. So, forced fucking lockdowns. At the beginning of this, 3/21/2020, I said stay the fuck home. I said stay the fuck home because I saw what the government was doing. I saw the misinformation that was going around. I saw the games that they were playing. I saw how they were denying literal science. I saw everything that was going down because the government wanted to use this pandemic as an excuse to issue martial law and other things that are going on in the country right now that I'm not going to talk about because America's not ready to hear that. America's not ready to talk about what I actually want to talk about, which is pedophiles and sex trafficking and human trafficking, and the fact that Nebraska is the worst state for sex trafficking along the I-80 corridor. Everybody that lives here knows that. We have incest problems. We have assault problems, we have abuse problems, we have education problems. So at the beginning of the year, when I saw that the state wasn't going to shut down, that they were trying to give us information once a day in the morning, just stay home, wash your hands, don't be in crowded spaces, logical things that people like me who are immunocompromised and have family members who literally are, medical liabilities because the health isn't good, your health deteriorates as you get older. We've been doing this bullshit our whole lives. My mom's a germaphobe. I'm a germaphobe. I've been saying that all year. There's no reason why a government should be mandating a lockdown because as a person, you should be taking the educated route and this kind of thing and deciding that you're going to do research and or listen to the research, and instead of going and licking doorknobs because the government told you to fucking stay home, you should have been a voice of reason talking about how viruses work and spread, how they mutate, why it's important to not have this virus run rampant through our society. Newsflash, it's not that it's super deadly. It's that it's silent. It's that it comes into our population and attacks all of the weak people all at once. It takes 3 to 5 days for people like me to get symptoms from COVID. Healthy people, it takes a week to 2. So while you're sick, you don't know it, which means that you're shedding all that bullshit off into the population, which means now in 2 weeks, those 800 people that got sick 2 weeks ago, okay, so today, let's see, 60 people get sick today and they don't know. And each one of those people go out tomorrow and get 4 more people sick. Now we have a compound problem that's going to take 2 weeks to see the results of. So anytime you're planning in a business and you're scheduling out people, you schedule 2 to 3 weeks. So that if anything happens in those 2 to 3 weeks, you can be prepared for whatever is going to happen. So that you know the flow of what's going on. Hospitals are the same. They know the normal flow of illnesses seasonally. So when you add in a new virus from a different country called the SARS-CoV-2 19, because this is a mutated form of COVID, you shouldn't be having a government tell you to be locked down. You should just be washing your hands and not arguing with people. And yeah, so now we have a governor who's been, how do I say this? If your government locked down this year, you have an authoritarian government. Full stop. Unless you're Nebraska and then you're using propaganda to kill off your population. Because it's not a hoax. It's a virus. It's a real life virus that does real life problems to people. And like, legit is not fun to have. And so like, this news article where the governor's all like, I'm not going to listen to the experts. And so she told CNN on Sunday that the remarks were the latest effort by the White House to single her out as the Democratic governor of a swing state over her response to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has surged in the form of rising rates of new cases around the nation in recent days. Because it's a virus, and that's what happens when people who are sick don't stay home. Yeah, I got sniffles still. They haven't stopped since I got sick. Every year before this, I have gone through this exact same thing, where if you're sick, stay the fuck home. If you don't feel good, stay the fuck home. If you don't know what you have, you shouldn't be sharing it with other people. Stay the fuck home. What people really aren't talking about is how COVID affects your mental health. Not just the people who are shouting, it's a hoax, it's a hoax, it's a hoax, and this is why people are going to kill themselves because this is a hoax and they're locking down. No. The government locked down because everybody went out and mass panic bought toilet paper. If your population hears that there's a new virus running rampant through your community, and the first thing that your community does is go and buys out all the toilet paper, that signals to the leaders that the population is not intelligent enough to handle what's going to come forward, and they're going to treat you like children because you can't think critically and demand evidence. And then other people see what's going on, and they get involved and use that to their advantage because chaos causes money gain. War is profitable. I don't know if you guys know this, but our country likes to start wars when our economy is doing bad because wars stimulate the economy. If your country is the one being torn apart, that stimulates the building sector of your economy because everything's fucked up now. So not only is this virus stimulating our morgues, death business has never been better right now. The death business is booming right now. So this economic pitfall is helping the morticians, the politicians, not the musicians. That was funny. But it's definitely stimulating the economy in sectors that have been doing very poorly in the last decade. I used to build jails like I don't know what that means. I don't even know who's backstage right now. I put the link in, and I have somebody backstage. I don't know who it is, so I'm not going to give them airtime because the one comment they posted isn't even relative to what I'm talking about. So, who are you? Oh, it's Chris! Fuck you!
I said stop hoarding shit tickets.
Oh, I love you. How are you, Chris? This is Chris Lopez. Chris Lopez is one of my oldest guy on right. He's one of my oldest friends. I can't believe he's watching me because he's been watching me grow up for like her entire life. So by this time, you should be sick of me.
Oh, trust me, man.
How's your mental health Monday today?
COVID sucks serious fucking ass.
Yeah, so what's going on in your life with COVID right now? Since you're like literally on the other side of town and I haven't seen you in like weeks.
No, I dropped, let's see, so I was not tested for COVID, but I was kept away from work for 2 weeks in April.
Okay.
Then my wife had it, or didn't have it, actually, 3 negative tests. However, that didn't stop them from keeping me from going to work in late September. And my daughter got sent home from school last Tuesday for suspected COVID. She had a 99-degree temperature and had, a cough. So
you have COVID again?
No, she's back now. I mean, negative test, so she's good to go, I guess. Could be a false negative and all that mess, but
so what caused you? Okay, so what in those instances? What was it that caused you guys to be isolated and then sent home?
Well, it was just, because she was in school, so while she was in school, she had positive, or not positive.
She had a temperature and a cough.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you were sent home at the beginning because you were sick?
I had a fever, and they made me go test, or they wanted me to go test, but at that point it was still fresh. So they just said we don't have enough tests for everybody, so they're just like, we're just gonna treat you like you have it. So go die slowly.
So that's what I encountered. So at the beginning of the year, I was sick. I was definitely sick. I should have gone to the hospital sick. I recorded it on the interwebs. It's on there still. Didn't test me, refused to test me, flat out gaslit me, told me it couldn't be here yet, even though I follow things. And then
they straight up said, we don't have enough tests to test everybody, so just
sorry, brown guy, you're just going to have to go die.
Yeah, stay isolated and all that.
Isn't it funny how 60% of the cases in Nebraska at the beginning were all Hispanic meatpacking plant workers?
Ironic.
Well, isn't that just the best?
It's ironic, but it's also, contact tracing, I guess. Like when they mention that contact tracing, it's like, hey, anybody you've come in contact with, anybody they've come in contact with.
That's how it works. Because they did that with H1N1 too. Because I had the H1N1. I was the first confirmed case in Kearney.
Yeah,
I brought it. I brought it to Kearney because I was it was me. It really was. I was the first person in Kearney to be diagnosed with swine flu. And that was what, 2009. Yeah, I had graduated summer 2009. I was delivering parts for my dad at Midway. And so I was all over the state and I picked it up and brought it home and shared it with everybody because they're like, we need to contact trace you. We have to contact trace you right now. I'm like, I've been delivering parts for the last 2 weeks all over the state. There is no contact tracing.
Start making phone calls.
Here's my order list for the last 2 weeks, and here's the places I stopped, and good luck with that.
Yeah.
No, that was worse though.
It's nutty.
I don't know. I didn't get a flu shot after that for 10 years either, and I didn't get the flu.
I haven't. I don't ever. I'm also a huge shot phobia kind of guy though.
You can have tattoos, but you can't get a shot.
It's not the same. It's not the same at all. That's a gun.
Oh yeah, that's so much better. Uh-oh, it's my husband. Yes, Matthew. Where are you going?
Who's that?
It's Chris Lopez. He's joining me on Mental Health Monday. Say hi.
Oh, hey, what's up, Chris?
What's going on, Matt?
It's Matthew. What are you doing?
I gotta take her for a ride because she wants to go for a ride.
Okay, well, have fun.
Yeah.
Bring back coffee. Coffee or bust.
Stop being a rebel.
I know, whatever you want to do. Don't get COVID.
Thankfully, I can go through Smokers Friendly and go through the drive-thru.
Oh, you can? You have contact? Oh my God! Look at our community doing contactless stuff because they don't want our hospital to fill up any more than it already is.
We're all gonna die eventually.
Hey.
Oh yeah, it's fine. We're all gonna die eventually.
Hey, Chris, did you see the new episode of Mandalorian?
I haven't yet. It's on the to-do list.
Well,
it's on the to-do list.
I did it. I'm so caught up. I know everything that's going on. And in the baby Yoda's
la 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 la.
Did you watch the second new one yet, though?
I have not. I haven't watched any of the new one yet. I haven't watched the new season yet.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
See you later.
I have legitimately been holding off.
Okay, so spoiler alert: there's a Mandalorian and a Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah. If you haven't seen the first season yet, then
spoiler alert. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so how do you feel about people on the internet not handling mental health properly and then making violent threats to elected officials?
I don't know. That's a mess. I mean, mental health is a serious business. I mean, because like I said, so all the times, I mean, I've been, it's like almost a full month, like not collectively, collectively, not, all at once, but all this time, spent at home and, not allowed, you can't go anywhere, you can't do this. It's nuts, man. It kind of screws with your head a little bit. So when you started talking about mental health, and I dig on the mental health thing because it's something that's under-talked about. Like, it's really underappreciated. Like, people, it doesn't take much to mess with somebody's,
it really doesn't. And that's just it, is that people think it's funny to trigger other people once they find out how to upset them. And as a libertarian, I've been big about this. If you are intentionally triggering people, if you know that what you're saying and doing is going to trigger somebody and you don't care, and you do it anyway, physically knowing, being warned, hey, that harms me, that's a violation of the NAP. If you are messing with someone else's mental health, you're violating the NAP, the non-aggression principle.
Some people live for it, though. I mean, some people just live to be that thorn in someone's side, like that gets them off or something. Which
contrarian is what I think they call themselves. Contrarians.
Oh yeah,
they're just contrary.
They just like contrary. They just like to say the other thing because that's what gets a rise out of people. Yeah. I mean, I know how to poke.
Yeah, you do.
But the same point is, it's not. I mean, I like to do it when it provokes conversation.
Benefits
because conversation
the situation.
Conversation is more important than anything in my opinion. Like, if you can talk about something, have somebody vocalize their opinion. Because a lot of people just sit there, stare at the floor. They might not agree with what you're saying, but they just sit there and stare at the floor. They don't have they have no input. They don't want to have input. They just want to sit there and be like, I don't agree with what they said, but I'm just going to sit here and deal with it. No, if you got something to say, you got to say it. So otherwise, there's no benefit to you just being. There's no benefit to you not agreeing with something if all you're going to do is disagree in silence.
And just not speak up, but then go and talk to other people about the problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's a collective argument is still a discourse. It's still conversation. Without that, there's nothing going to happen.
Nope. I mean, well, and this is what I've learned a lot too, is that people don't listen and communicate to understand and to actually learn.
Yeah.
They're communicating to rebut or argue against.
Yeah. Just arguments.
Like, Chris, I'm sorry that you don't like the Bears. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't care why. Just fuck you. You don't like the Bears.
I don't want to hear what you have to say. You have no right to tell me why. Like, wait, no. We should. That's part of a community. Is you have to understand that other people might not have the same views and thoughts.
It's called diversity.
I appreciate you so much. And I've mentioned it before. Well, because
I know you always talk to me.
Well, it creates conversation. It's something that's beautiful about. I mean, excuse my language, but this is America. We are allowed to have differing opinions. Have to, as a matter of fact. If you don't, then what? This isn't America at that point.
No, and then you have people wanting the government to enforce that upon you, which is a violation of our constitutional rights anyway.
Correct.
Like our fundamental rights as Americans is the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, right? Right? If you're not happy, you can't pursue life and liberty.
Well,
Because if you're not happy, you are missing that.
This is
oh
my
God, where is that?
contrarian. This is my contrarian. It's actually, we find these truths to be self-evident: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
It doesn't
Life
fucking
and
matter if
liberty-
the government's permitting us from even doing the happiness part.
That's correct. But life and liberty are guaranteed, essentially, and then the pursuit of happiness is one of the others. But,
Hold on.
you know, trying to pursue happiness when not being allowed to pursue happiness.
We definitely were talking about this last week on another broadcast. And then we brought up this. I'm going to. Oh, no. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to share this real quick. So, what this is the hierarchy of needs. Right? So in any functioning life, you need to meet all of these to be healthy and balanced. So for me personally, what I use for my example, this is where I'm always hung up, is safety. If you can't have that, then none of these other ones are going to be self-actuation.
Yeah.
And so right now in society, with COVID even, what is happening is this psychological foundation of everything we are is being threatened. But we're not being educated in how to, like, combat that.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple enough. I mean, when it comes down to actual physiological, I mean, scientifically, that stuff happens regardless, aside from the sex part.
And not in order. Yeah, this what's
Yeah.
mine is the homeostasis.
Well, I mean, that's just the scientific production. So it's,
Homeostasis.
yeah.
Is that like photosynthesis? Where I can stay outside and live on the sunshine diet forever and just never consume another living being again?
No, if I remember correctly, homeostasis is like the reproduction of cells within the little body, I think.
Oh yeah, I
don't recall
definitely am
100%.
no longer homeostasis. Yeah, we are going Maslow. It's his fault. But actually,
My fault.
It's not your fault. It's Matt's fault, not Chris's fault. No, I'm glad you popped on because one, I love you, and two, mental health is both of our favorite things to talk about. And COVID is just fucking it all up for everybody on all the different levels. Because here in Nebraska, we didn't have a forced lockdown.
No,
They just were like, we just need to change the way we are behaving and acting, and hopefully that works. And it worked until people stopped.
doing it.
Until that's it. I like to say, if you have a plan, it doesn't matter if people don't follow the plan, and that's exactly what it's like a group project,
Right? Like,
But
guess what? Somebody's taking credit for everybody else's work, and they're like, "Hey, look, we're doing so great. Well, your monkey ass ain't staying home.
But just kidding, we're actually getting an F.
You ain't doing it. So how you gonna be like, look at how great we are when your ass ain't doing nothing?
We're the part of the group project where it's time to present everything, and only like 2 people know what's going on, and the other 4 people have no fucking clue, but they're the speakers, and we're just standing there going, "That's all right.
This is what you're supposed to read. No, read the card. It's on the
I gave you all
flashcard.
the answers. Fucking
It's on
listen.
the flashcard.
So to my next story.
I drew a picture on it. I drew a picture on the poster board. That
I used my Sharpie to mark exactly where we needed to go right now, and nothing is working. So my next story is actually about voter fraud.
I heard about that. I didn't really do much investigation to it, but
So
that's
voter
pretty
fraud,
interesting.
voter fraud ruffles New Zealand's Bird of the Year competition. Okay, evidence of election rigging has roiled New Zealand's Bird of the Year competition after a case of ballot box stuffing has threatened to derail the avian democracy. Suspicion began when organizers received more than 1,500 votes sent from the same email address early Monday. Each vote was in favor of the little spotted kiwi, according to the statement from Forest and Bird, a conservation organization that runs the election. This poor little guy.
This is me, like, really trying to take that seriously.
That is an amazing bird. It deserves all the support, but unfortunately these votes had to be disallowed and they've been taken out of the competition. See, this is how real democracy works.
That's cold. That's cold. The poor bird.
It's the annual event is more than just a bird popularity contest. The conservation group Forest and Birds runs the election-based competition to help raise awareness about New Zealand's native bird species, many of which are endangered. So not only is it just trying to raise awareness, they're trying to defraud the poor birds' credibility by voter fraud. I can only assume that people get really excited about New Zealand's native birds, she said, reasoning why someone would want to cheat. Why are a land of birds... We are a land of birds, and we have some of the most amazing and unique species. See, she can't even believe.
Endangered species, I can get. I mean, I understand, like, hey, man, there's only 11 of these or something like that. Defrauding an election for that circumstance, I mean, that's extremist. That's a little extremist, if you ask me. I mean, that's just my personal bias on that. Be like, all right, man. You need to calm down about them birds a little bit.
Bird people are weird. But it's okay, because the race isn't over yet.
They're not all weird. There could be potentially good bird people watching this. Not all bird people are weird. They should be.
Grandparents have a cockatiel named Chief.
Totally not endangered, though. Totally not
endangered because he's on my list. That bitch bites. So it's not over yet. The voting closes Sunday, but Kyon said that the disqualification immediately lifted one species legitimately to the top, the kakapo, a rare nocturnal bird known for its owlish beak and yellow-green colored ring. It's the only flightless parrot in the world.
Wow.
Now I have to Google what it is, because if it's cute and flightless, I gotta find out. Okay, so let's find out.
Parrot.
Yeah, but it's a parrot. It's a flightless parrot that looks like an owl.
That sounds pretty gangster.
Cora's favorite word right now is hoo, 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 hoo.
I don't suppose she says it in that kind of vernacular, though.
Yeah, she says hoo.
Oh, really?
Hoo. Yeah, she goes hoo. It's a hoo-hoo. Okay, this bird looks like a parrot. It's not as cute as I thought it was going to be.
It's all right. It looks
like a green dodo bird. Oh, that's a good picture, though.
That's a good one.
That's a cute picture. He's got messy beaks.
I'd vote for that guy.
Ooh, skeleton.
That's not.
Well, you got to know what's on the inside, too. It's not just what's on the outside that matters, Chris. You have to go and see what's on the inside. That's not.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate derailing your business for a minute.
I'm glad that you could, because now we're just gonna jump right back into news, because that's all I'm gonna do is talk about news and mental health.
By the way, guys, take care of your mental health, okay? Like, we care. People care. If you need to talk. All right, to anybody. It doesn't matter. Call up your best friend. Call up your girlfriend. Do whatever you need.
Oh, I should have the.
It's important.
Hold on, the suicide hotline.
Yeah, put that up there. That's good.
I'm doing that right now.
If you know somebody, need somebody to talk to, man, tell them they can have my phone number. I'll talk to somebody for a minute.
Oh, yeah. So this man and I have had some very good late-night soul conversations, because he's from the hood. We like this. He's real. He's gang.
Game recognized game.
Gang right here. He beat me up when I was a kid.
I never did.
You didn't, though. You were one of the good ones.
It's only emotional torture.
Oh, yeah. Only emotional. You and the boys and everybody else, just going, me, don't be a girl. You can't play with us. We're boys.
But anyway, I'm bouncing. Take care of yourselves.
You can't.
Take care of yourself, too, all right?
You can't play football. Yeah, bye. You can't play with us. You're a girl. You'll cry. So, if you are feeling suicidal or need to talk to somebody, please go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org or call 800-273-8255. 800-273-8255. I have used that number when I started this new journey of mental health awareness and what's going on in the world. I didn't tell my suicide story this year. So, 4 years ago, last weekend of October, Your homegirl was living with her homegirl, had just got kicked out of her mom's house because millennial, just miscarried an unexpected, unwanted pregnancy, working part-time at a restaurant in town where people had already been institutionalized recently. Like, another girl had just been in the same mental health facility that I ended up going to, like, a month before me. There's no fucking secret at all that the food service industry is toxic. There's no secret at all that the food service industry is full of addiction issues. Because if you're not taking care of your mental health, you're going to start self-medicating any way you can. And in the service industry, that is drugs and alcohol and sex. No food, just drug, alcohol, and sex. We don't eat about our problems, we fuck the pain away. And that's really not good for your mental health. So I ended up going out one night. Yeah, it was a Thursday night. It was old school night. And got fucking trashed. I binge drink. I'm a real good binge drinker. And I stopped drinking about midnight because I had drank so much. And blacked out, somehow got home. Have terrible anxiety when I drink anyway. It's all mental, emotional hangovers. And I woke up and I couldn't find my fucking wallet. Because my anxiety was based off of my medical debt and being financially unstable as an adult. And so I couldn't find my fucking wallet, and that's what did me in. That little itty bitty, I can't find my wallet. Was going to kill myself. Did not want to be here. I called everybody I knew except this hotline, and because I didn't want to call the hotline. I wasn't in the spot where I was ready to use it. I reached out to my support system, and the only person who answered was my grandma. And so I went to Richard Young for 3 days, and I came out and realized that it in fact was not me. Being gaslit by society and everyone around you does in fact drive you nuts and make you doubt everything. So from that point on, you just start taking baby steps. You start cutting things out that aren't healthy for you. You start doing the things that make you feel good. As me, I take care of everybody first. I don't take care of myself. I'm the mom of all the groups. I don't need help. I didn't need help. But then you find out you do need help. And that's why it's okay to reach out, because you are the only you there is, and no one in this world should make you feel like you don't belong here. And if somebody makes you believe that, you come find me, and I'll give them a nice talk. Not even a bad talk, a nice talk. Because if someone else is trying to deteriorate your mental health, it's because they are equally miserable, or more so. Our government did a really good job at destroying the core family unit with war. And then realizing what they had, they continued to enable that. And denuclearizing the core family unit. Not just in black families, but in low-income families too. Which is why they like to keep us hungry. If everybody is just hungry enough, we'll be unstable enough to not unify. If everybody thinks everybody else is out to get them, we're not going to come together. And that's why our mental health is so fucking bad. Humans are pack animals. Isolation is not something that we need. Isolation is negatively impacting our lives. It's why abusers isolate their victims. I said 4 years ago, heading into the election, after my fucking mental health breakdown, because I was trying to date in Trump 2016 land as a female welder who doesn't agree with conservative evangelical beliefs. I don't believe women should stay home in the kitchen. I don't believe we should be barefoot and pregnant all the time. I don't believe we should sit down, shut up, and be pretty. I think that women's place is where a man is, because we're human. Not just vessels to create your offspring in. Not just a milk cow. We are responsible for creating life. That means mommy rage is what that means. That means that I feel what every woke woman in this world feels right now, and that is the undeniable disgust and the disrespect that people have been giving each other for millennia, and the fact that people still want to fight about it instead of coming together and unifying. Because we've been fighting wars for millions of years, literally millions of years, and ain't once has a world war created world peace. We did it twice, and all it did was hide the problem. If you don't confront the issue, it breeds and it grows and it turns into a disease in which you cannot eliminate, and it becomes terminal. Our country is at that tipping point where it's terminal. The hate in our country is terminal because our country was founded on freedom, which was then taken and used to subjugate people because money. America's currency has been flesh since its founding. How do we change that? That's the big question. For my mental health, how do we change what's going on? How do we effectively educate everyone around us to understand that we're all responsible for our own selves and our own mental health and how we react to the world around us? And how do we stop people from engaging in psychological warfare and triggering people on purpose to hopefully get them to fucking kill themselves? Because that's literally what I hear people saying. How do we make the world a better place as individuals in a way that impacts the people around us and creates change and spread? How do we do this? My solution? Being nice, doing nice things for strangers, talking about how we feel in a way that doesn't alienate people, doing small things in your community that don't need credit. People don't know what I do for my community because I don't tell people what I do for my community. I just do it. I help my friends. I see a problem. I speak up. I saw a man harassing his wife at the grocery store a couple weeks ago. I asked her if she needed help. He looked like he was gonna fucking hit me. I don't fucking care. Because that's how you change the world around you. That's why Kearney is such a special place. We have fucking problems. We have so many problems. But we've been addressing them for the last 25 years. We've been slowly dragging the hate out of our community one person at a time. Because if you can connect with one person that needs a hug and can convince them that hate is a disease that eats you from the inside out, then you are actually making change in your community. If you impact one person, and that's the only person you ever make an impact to and change, that one person will then go out and probably make the same impact. The only problem is that hate spreads faster than love, and love is always abused. So, Mental Health Monday, 38 minutes in, 2 news stories, thank you. My goal for this week, and for everybody, is go do something nice for somebody else. Check on your elderly neighbor. See if they need groceries. Try to help your community stay home without the government telling you that you have to do it. The government isn't there to take care of us. We're there to take care of each other. And until we start doing that, nothing's going to change. Uh-oh, I have a guest. What do you want? Hi, Chris. Anything to add?
When you were talking about the doing something nice,
yeah.
there is something that I like. I mean, it's Nebraska in November, and we don't have snow on the ground, which is awesome. Like, that's so tight that it's actually pretty decent right now.
Yeah,
I have a suggestion, and this is
Yes.
very simple.
Yes.
If you have a driveway or a sidewalk, you'll have to be doing you'll have to, unless you pay somebody to do it. If you're out there, it doesn't take that much more time. You'll feel a lot better after doing it. Go blow somebody else's driveway off. Go, I mean, like when it was when we first moved into this house, my neighbor from across the way, we went outside one morning and our entire driveway was blown off, and I didn't know who did it. I had no idea. It wasn't for notoriety. It wasn't for funsies. Like,
It was just to
obviously,
be nice.
he just came over and I found out who it was eventually. Obviously, eternally grateful. My wife was sick at the time, and there were things going on. And he came over, blew off our driveway, and eternally grateful. It's something that I will never forget. In the history of my lifetime, it's something I won't forget. But you know what? You know what happens next? It's that pay it forward business. From then on, I felt no qualms whatsoever. I would run my driveway, run like the block sidewalk. You feel good after doing it. I blew my neighbor's driveway off. I mean, like, hey, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. No one's blowing off your driveway yet. Maybe she hasn't gone to work yet. Maybe she's got the day off. Guess what? When you go outside and see that your driveway is blown off and you didn't do it, it's amazing.
Big feels.
It is complete amazing feeling.
Our neighbors do that too.
Yeah, and you don't even have to say, literally, get done, put the snowblower, shovel, whatever, put it away, go inside. You ain't got to knock on the door and be like, hey, guess what? I cleaned your snow off. Just go inside.
Yeah.
Because when they go outside, you know the feeling once you've had that feeling. And I felt it amazing. So that's something you can do, as you mentioned.
Be a vigilante in a good way.
Yeah.
Be the Spider-Man of your community, but not taking out bad guys, just helping little old ladies and kids.
Just do stuff, Just
be nice. Okay, so my grandpa, here's an example.
Things. Yeah.
My grandpa, being the man who raised me and teached me that the government was bad and that we are all responsible for ourselves, those fundamental things that most people should be taught. He does that. He goes out, he takes a stippler, he does the whole block, he does the street, he does all the sidewalks. But when he worked at Eaton's, which is a valve, for people that don't know where Kearney is and what we're talking about, Eaton's Corporation is a valve factory here in town, which shut down at the beginning of the pandemic, even though they are literally the only qualified people to make the valves for the ventilators that they said they were short on. Not going to talk about that anymore, but my grandpa worked there in rebuild, and he would go to the auction all the time. That is what we would do, is go to the auction twice a week. And he would buy bikes, all the bikes, and he'd fix them up, and he'd take them and go donate them.
Right.
But he was also the neighborhood grandpa. So if kids came over and needed a bike, he'd let them take a bike. He'd give the kids bikes. Like he was an Eaton's elf is what they called him, because he just went out. He was part of a group that went out and did good things for the community and didn't ask anything for it. And it makes me cry.
Or volunteer. I'm gonna say, because your grandpa's a great dude.
No, my grandpa's a great dude. Better be recognized.
Yeah. But so for real.
But yeah, just volunteering.
When it comes to mental health, yeah. So it's ironic, because even if you're not in a good place, because I've been in the same situation that you mentioned, before. It's not an easy place to be at. I'm not completely better yet either.
Nope.
I continue to work on it every day, but it's not something that's easy. But at the same time, when you get down to doing stuff like that, it actually helps. It makes you feel better. It sounds so silly. It sounds so screwed up that I know I'm in a bad place. How am I supposed to be able to help anybody else out? Trust me. Trust me. I'm an individual who's been in the same situation, doing the nice things, actually doing them, even though you don't feel what am I going to do? What can I possibly do? It's not going to help anybody. I'm in a horrible place. How come anything you do, helping somebody else out, talking to somebody, talking somebody off a ledge. That's an extreme situation, but
But it happens. I've been there with my friends.
But doing that, talking to somebody afterwards, you feel better about yourself, and that's a step in the right direction.
Yep.
So if anybody's watching this that thinks that they maybe have questionable thoughts or something like that, trust me. You never know until you try. So
and it doesn't take something big even to get it started. When I talk about baby steps, and the baby steps that led me from self-committing to Richard Young to running for a political office on the platform of mental health in 4 years,
Come on, Zero.
is doing baby steps. It's doing that. My first change in my mental health journey to being able to help other people was literally just making myself something to eat in the morning. For me, my mental health journey started with literally just eating breakfast.
The kids help you. The kids help me out a lot.
See, and that's
changing a diaper, dude.
Being on that schedule, like kids, yes. So before I had Cora, I had to do it all on my own. I had to figure out how to feed myself and how to wipe my own ass, and wanting to eventually have a family and knowing that I wasn't in the mental spot to do it even. So like it takes just a little itty bitty baby step, a little itty bitty domino tilt to just get the ball rolling, and then you pick up momentum with those baby steps, and you end up going worlds away from where you were. But you, Christopher?
My dog is having some challenges right now.
I know.
He can't get up the stairs.
Oh!
Come on,
puppy. Oh, okay, that was worth it. No, I'm gonna go ahead and log off here. I have another thing I'm gonna have to go do. But this Mental Health Monday is brought to you by Krista Lopez of Kearney and Mercedes Dawichowski, also of Kearney. Him. It's Mental Health Monday. Go out and do something nice for someone else, and remember that you are the power, and that all we are working for is to have the good life for all y'all. And with that,
good people. You're all good people. You know it.
Just except for you, and you know who I'm talking about. Okay. With that, I'll see you later.